Well, hello and welcome to Merge Podcast. I'm so excited that you were able to join in with us today as we are discussing about education, politics, religion, and productivity. And so today I'm going to be the person that's going to be speaking today. I didn't bring somebody in that I'm going to interview. And just to say I'm sorry for not being present on this podcast for a period of time because I was working on my dissertation proposal and also doing sabbatical. And so that took up the time of me preparing and releasing information that connected to the Merge podcast. But I have something that I want to share with you today that I believe can help you and be able to show you a way in which you can shift and frame the way that you think. And so a few weeks ago, I was talking at a particular conference about mindset. And not just mindset itself, but specifically a motorcycle mindset. And so I began to read a book probably a few months ago called Shift into a Higher Gear by Delatoro McNeil II. And he is a wonderful motivational speaker and all those different things. But his book spoke to me, and I began to study his book and begin to take notes and apply them to my life. And I want to share with you what this great guy kind of gave us as a framework of how to shift our mind. And so he speaks about our ability to be a motorcycle and shift into the next phases of our lives. See, there are some times that you are struggling to go and do what you are called to do. And sometimes you are struggling with the ability to know the purpose for which you are doing it. But he kind of gives us a understanding of how to shift ourselves into a motorcycle mindset and being able to go and do what we are called to do as a body of people. So the question is, you may be asking me, is why, Zach, do you want to talk about us having a motorcycle mindset? Why is that important? See, there are distinct differences between motorcycles and cars. See, in order to ride a car or to ride a motorcycle, but specifically a motorcycle, you must accept the environment as it is. But a car gives you too many options. Let me say that again. A car gives you too many options. See, a car allows you to drive, to reverse, to neutral, and to park. It allows you to drive, to reverse, to be in neutral, and to park. Now think about that. Think about that. Many of us are just driving, but going nowhere. Many of us are reversing, going backwards, going back to our past and allowing our past to keep us from what we're called to do. And it's stopping us from what we have been made in this earth to become. And it's creating a division between our purpose and our plan. And so the other form of that is that most times we're neutral. We're just stuck. We're just in the middle. We want to do it, but we are scared. We want to do it, but we're fearful. We want to do it, but we're just undecided. And so are indecisive. And so then we are in park. We're just stuck. We don't do nothing. But I want to challenge you today to have a motorcycle mindset. See, some of us are like cars. We let the vehicle encapsulate us. We let the vehicle shield us. We let the vehicle protect us. We let it envelop us. We let it surround us. And you have to learn to allow yourself to break out from all those things that are shielding you, encapsulating you, and keeping you from what you're called to do. But most times, we just stay there because of fear, because we are afraid. But I want to challenge you to step out of your fear and go into your faith, go into your calling, go into your purpose. Take your fear and throw it to the ground and align yourself to the faith that God is giving you, and allow that to be the thing that moves you forward. So God wants you to move from being shielded and protected and shift to an experience that causes the environment that you're in to be different. Many of us are in environments that we're not supposed to be in. We have been far gone from these environments, and we have outgrown these environments. And he wants you to move forward. And you should have it within yourself to move forward. Don't allow the fear. Don't allow the thing that maybe your family or friends or your husband or your wife, they may not understand. But if you believe in yourself, if you believe in yourself, if you believe in yourself that you're called to something different and called to a different environment, then it's time to move forward. Say it with me. It's time to move forward. So, a motorcycle is very different from a car. If you want to change directions in a car, you must physically turn the steering wheel left or depending on how hard the turn is of the wheel, the car may shift into a different way that you're not intending for it to go. See, the only thing a car needs you to do physically is to turn the steering wheel. Watch this. But a motorcycle, you cannot hard turn the steering wheel on a motorcycle. You have to lean in the direction you want to go. See, the motorcycle takes 100% of its direction from the intentionality of the weight that you put in your turns. That spoke to me right there. It requires the weight, your weight, in order for the turn to be efficient, in order for it to be successful. What is he saying right here? And what am I saying? You have to put your weight, you have to put your passion, you have to put your heart into the turn. Because the turn will take you into the place in which you're called to. And that turn will bring you into great success and great prosperity. And many times we are struggling with that in our minds because we are trying to compare ourselves, or we're trying to say, okay, how can I not do this? How can I stay comfortable? You weren't created to be comfortable. You were created to break narratives, change narratives, and break norms. I'll say that again. You were created to change narratives and break norms. There are some narratives that you have in your family that you're called to change. There are some norms that's in your family or in your bloodline that needs to be broken. And it starts with you. It starts with you. I'm always trying to figure out how I can change the narrative. Just me being a thinker and being an analytical person, I'm always trying to figure out how I can change the narrative. Because no one is going to create a narrative about me except for me. So you are the chief controller of your narrative. And you have to align your narrative to God. And then that comes together and you create a system that represents you, that no one can really say other than what you are. No one can say other than what you are except for you. So, other than putting your weight into the turn, you have to learn how to wait. W-A-I-T. You got to learn how to wait. And many times we don't want to wait. We want automatic things. But when you have something that's destined, that you believe that is profitable, that you believe that is efficient enough, I've learned from many of my mentors that it requires for you to go through a process. And many times, we don't want to go through a process. I promise you, I want to rush things. But it's just not like that. Look, I want you to subscribe to this channel today. Share this conversation with someone today. I know we're in the middle of the conversation, but I need you to go and subscribe to this channel and share it with somebody. Like it. If you're on our video on YouTube or Facebook, share and subscribe to the channel. If you're on our audio outlets, Apple Podcasts or Spotify, share this podcast. I bet you, and I know that this is going to touch somebody, because I believe it's touching you right now as it pertains to mindset. Now let's get back to this conversation. I talked about you being able to wait and having the W-A-I-T, being able to wait and allowing that wait to turn into the process. Because many times we don't want to go through a process. We want the automatic solution to be right there, right then, but it ain't like that. I know I'm talking off a little bit, but it ain't like that. But we have to learn how to align ourselves to our purpose and allow that to be what moves us forward. So, if you're going to be a motorcycle has one thing that keeps it from moving forward. It's a kickstand. It's a kickstand. A kickstand is to keep the bike upright and supported when it's not in use. The kickstand stops the engine, and it represents the excuses that we sometimes make about ourselves. Woo! So a kickstand is the representation of excuses. Sometimes we say we're too young, we're too old, we're not talented enough, we're not smart enough, we're not in the in crowd, that we don't have the support that we need to get things done. But you know what those are? Excuses. And we have to learn how to stop making excuses for things that we have been called to and called for. So I want you today to take some time out of your day to journal. Write 3 things down that you want to do in your life within the next 3 months. And I want you to write down 3 things that you want to change in your life in the next 3 months. I want you to take a journey of being able to detox from things that are keeping you from having a motorcycle mindset, from shifting your mindset. You have to learn to escape your fear and kick back the kickstand to grab hold of your faith, what you believe in, what you know you're called to, and allow that thing to be the thing that changes and transforms your life. I'm all about education. I'm all about politics. I'm all about religion. I'm all about productivity. But the root of everything is having a mindset that is constantly being challenged, being transformed, and allowing its allowing your mind to sometimes wander into a place of creativity, into a place of just unwired thinking. Because sometimes we just want to be wired. We want everything to go like this. Sometimes we just have to allow ourselves to sit back and think. Sit in stillness and think. And allow our soul to speak to us. And allow the inner beings of who we are to come into its full potential. This is the Merge Podcast. My name is Zachary Thaggard. I hope you have enjoyed this conversation today about having a motorcycle mindset, that you are in the midst of something great, something wonderful, and don't let anybody change you from being a merger in this society and allowing yourself to merge with people of other races, of other faiths, of other sides of political agendas, because we are all created in some form or fashion to make a difference and to be the change that people want to see. See you later and have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.